African continent. And for Nigeria, a very close example is the fact that we primarily rely on oil exports when we also have agriculture. But because that industry has not fully been developed well enough, we haven't really seen the benefits of its comparative advantage on the global scene and also for trade within Africa. So, path forward. Generally, one thing that we can definitely look inwards to doing is making sure that as a continent, we focus on diversification of our trade partners. So, first of all, prioritizing other African countries so that the AfCFTA can sort of realize its goals. For us to also be able to have a better bargaining chip when it comes to the global scene surrounding trade. This doesn't mean that we have to sort of fall into a situation where we simply prioritize African exports or African imports over others that may be cheaper. We just have to make sure that we're able to diversify like partnerships across the globe so that we can also gain the benefits of trade on a global level as well. Also, we need to leverage the FCFTA's full potential, of course, to make sure that we continue to improve like on institutional level so that there will be more economic resilience and also to be able to manufacture our own goods and then export. So one thing that we do, of course, over time, in trying to export more, you find that we just still export raw materials rather than actually exporting value-added products. So it's more beneficial to a country's economy if they are able to actually improve the infrastructure for manufacturing and things like that so that we can actually export already finished products rather than exporting raw materials, which then go out and still come back to us at a higher price. Another thing is within the AfCFTA, there's a need for policy coordination so that there's basically a strong will and a stronger bargaining chip so that we don't just fall victim of sudden tariff policies that may affect us because of our relations with other countries and the fact that we're trading with just a particular region. So, to summarize, a lot of what I've been saying basically is that there's the need to strengthen and fully implement the AfCFTA. We also need to diversify our economies to export value-added products. There's also the need to invest in regional infrastructure and then leverage Africa's collective bargaining power through the AfCFTA. And of course, building stronger relationship with global powers is also a way to do this. We don't have to close ourselves up to the rest of the world in the bid of making sure the AfCFTA comes to its full realization. We can still maintain those relationships while also prioritizing like African values or African the end goal for the single market for Africa. Then also it's important to focus on youth innovation because as we know, by 2030, I believe Africa is going to have like the highest workforce population in the world. So there's a lot that can be done when it comes to working with young people to educate them to see the benefits of innovation and an improved economy. And then, of course, finally, we need to promote financing and investing within Africa, figuring out ways for us to actually raise funds on the continent and also invest and basically get the returns to improve like our credit rating as a continent so that we don't have to rely on foreign aid to supply the needs of various communities, but actually working with both public and private partners to raise funds and also finance development projects. So just to mention on the role of government, because one thing that is clear from... Sorry?
As you wind up.
Okay, yes, I'm winding up. Thank you. So just to summarize on the role of government, because one thing that's clear from everything we've seen with Trump's tariffs and generally what happens around the world when issues like this come up is the fact that government plays a very important role in making sure that market volatility is not made a norm. So if only the institutions were better structured in a way that a single government mandate will not disrupt the entire ecosystem and all of that. There will definitely be better policies. There will be better ways to tackle tariffs and things like that when they come up. So as much as government is